Oh, you're gonna have to come back to the crib, cause we gotta go to a baby shower.
Yeah, my mama told me.
You mad?
Oh, no.
No. All right.
All right.
We live.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it again, bro. We live, so I'm kicking it off, bro. Since you sharing the show and all that. ETM Hotel, Rennie Shawn, welcome in peace. Your name is Shawn. Thank everybody for tuning in to Kofi Piesie TV. Please make sure that you got the Spills of the Mossi Volume 1. It is out. 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 It is popping. It's the hottest thing popping. That's what my cousin be saying about his music. It's the hottest thing popping. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. I'm in my Kofi mode. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. You know what I'm saying? So today's show, man, we giving our book recommendations and things of that nature. And I just wanted to be the first one to kick it off. I do see a couple of people popping up in the chat, so we respect everybody coming in, man. We thank everybody who already got the book. It is highly anticipating and liberating, and we're gonna make sure that we're doing what we need to do, doing what we gotta do, standing strong, standing on the shoulders.
You gotta finish it. You gotta finish it now.
Standing on the shoulders of the ancestors. I'm in Raw Squad. Nah, man, but in our reality though, we do appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know what I mean? So CCK out there doing your thing. We appreciate it. Like the show, share the show, tell a friend, we live. This is all about book recommendations. Mandatory books that I feel like that you must have in your library. Depends on your avenue of focus of study. So if you're into West African history, you're going to have to, at some period of point of time, you're going to have to deal with the Tariq el-Fatih and the Tariq el-Sudan, and also the corpus of early Arabic sources for West African history. You're also going to have to deal with David Davidson. You're going to have to deal with the African scholars like J.F. Ajay and Michael Crowder. I'm throwing these names out here instead of titles of books because, you need to know those authors as well. They have very scholastic work in the areas of study of West African history. You'll have to deal with Naheem Litzvizian. You're going to have to deal with him. You'll find out more about him. You're going to have to deal with Michael Gomez. You need the UNESCO volumes 1 through 8. You need 1,000 years of West African history. Like I said, Jai, you're going to have to deal with him and Espy. You got to deal with those scholarships if you're dealing with West African history. I'm going to keep it there because, it's a rundown when you start talking about Kemet. It's a lot I can say you need to stay away from, but it's a lot of good information in some of that stuff. But that's where we at on that. In all reality, it's tons of books as far as African American history or African American scholars who teach on the African perspective. You got to deal with a Asar Hotep's catalog. You have to deal with the journal, the first Pan-African journal, Killmonger's Corner, and every author in that, you got to deal with that. The Elder Baruti, you got to deal with his work in there as well. I'm trying to think. You got to, make sure that you're up on Nasub Bidi Aluja Volume 1 and 2, Where's the Love? You want to make sure that you got those. Those are essential. You want to make sure that you got the Seshew Research Team work. You got to make sure that you got Spills of the Mossi. I'm going to say it again. Spills of the Mossi. You have to have that, a historical survey from the minds of African warrior scholars. We are upping the ante on each volume. We are putting in work, ladies and gentlemen, like no other. And, make sure you support the book. Also, a lot of works could be found, and this for CK. A lot of works could be found on CK's Discord. One of the book recommendations that I actually provided for her, which she finally got, was the American Negro Academy. And that book is essential, essential. I don't know if she has that copy on the Discord, but I know she has the actual physical copy. She finally found a physical copy. And I'm waiting to see what she gets out of that. There's some other books and things of that nature, but I kind of left it open for my brothers because I know we all have similar books in our libraries, and we deal with that scholarship on that level. So that's my take right there, man, and I'm gonna peace out.
All right. Y'all, please, if you don't mind, I was trying to do it, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like fooling with it. I shared a few. But like we always say, man, please like and share the show. Share the show with people that you that's gonna appreciate. Hold on, let me get Voss in here. All right, I got him in here. Appreciate the show. Appreciate the information. Appreciate the bills. If you you sharing and ain't nobody gonna click on or look at it. Don't even waste your time. By doing it. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, hold on. What the hell going on? Am I on here? Okay. But yeah, all I see is Shawn thing up here. Hold on, y'all. Let me put it on here. Maybe like that because I don't get it on the gallery. Okay, there it is. We got it on the gallery. But yeah, please like and share the show. Share the show with those that that may be interested in what we got to say. Again, like Shawn said, this show is about the recommendation books. I guess I'm not gonna hold y'all up neither. And then we'll get into my other brothers on what they may recommend for the listening audience. I got a few books. I'm just gonna run down, and I'll let. I know some of us may have some of the same books. This is like Shawn mentioned, the SARS work, all the SARS work. So this is a great book. This is my favorite book from 2016. This book was released in 2016. The Sutekh, King of Ancient Egyptians, The Lessons of Parenting and Leadership. I'm not gonna go into this because I know my brother T'Challa, he's gonna probably go into the book, into the text, and give y'all a little bit more information. But this is a highly recommendation, especially for people expertise or trying to study about ancient Egypt, or even a little bit of information about West African culture. You can find it in here, but like I said, T'Challa maybe go a little bit further, but these is one of my recommendations I think everyone should have in their arsenal or in their library or in their collection. Another book, especially because people that know me know that I started out with Egypt first before I actually started to deal in West Africa, and West Africa became my expertise. But this is another book for those who may be studying ancient Egypt or studying Kemet or Timeri. This is another great recommendation. I recommend each and everyone should have this book on their shelves. This is African Philosophy, the Pharaonic Period of 2780 to 330 BCE. This is by Theophile Obanga. And he has, what I like about the book is each page, it has translations, transliteration and translation. So Theophile Obanga went in and translated a lot of those attestations, those different glyphs. It has a lot to do with the cosmology. Again, if you understand the cosmology of the culture, then you understand the minds of the people that's in that area. So this here is a good recommendation. Again, this is African Philosophy, the Pharaonic Period, 2780, 330 BC, Theophile Obanga. I don't know how much this book is. We done recommended this book on the Seshew channel a few times. So I don't know if the book has increased or it was down, but I bought this book maybe back in 2013 no, I bought this book in 2015. And it was at a decent price. I know it went up at one time, so it may have went down, but this is a book that you should definitely have, especially those who are studying ancient Kemet. Another book of mine, Shawn also mentioned Kemet Press by Sutekh Kilimanjaro, Ifa Kilimanjaro, Nara. What is his name? Shawn might have stepped away I can't think of the other brother name. And one of the elders. But anyway, we have a lot of their books. So any of the United Kemet Press book, I recommend those books. They have some new books out. I have 2 new ones, latest books, but I'm not gonna recommend them because I recommend all of them, but I hadn't read none of them, even though I know they're good. But I'm recommending things that I have read that I know that has been thoroughly sourced, you know what I'm saying, highly accurate on the information. So for people that wants to get an understanding, and I'm bringing these 3 books here out. I got 2 more. It's because we just went through the 4th of July. So a lot of us over here don't understand the history of America. So United Kemet Press, this is Sutekh Kilimanjaro and Ifa Kilimanjaro, both are PhDs. The United outline, the United States historical development from 1492 to present. This is a must. This is a must for people that wants to understand the outline from via the Atlantic slave trade to over here. So they give you an outline from 1492, and I think this stops at, I can't remember where the outline stops at. I think it stops in 1994. So it goes from 1492 to 1945. So this is a great book here. Like I said, it gives you an outline from the Atlantic slave trade up here. So it's heavily sourced. So like I said, it gives you each timeline. Let me see real quick before I go on to the next book. So this starts off, well, no, it goes to 2014. I'm sorry, 1492 to 2014. So it starts off with each timelines and it goes through each timeline. So this is a great read for those that want to understand how the United States developed, the development of the United States. So this is a great book to have in your collection. Again, it is outlined the United States historical development of 1492 to present. So the outline goes all the way up from 1492 to 2014. These are the other 2 books, and I'll move on to my brothers and I ain't even finna say that. Well, I recommended these books. In the past, I did a presentation on Thanksgiving. I hadn't did a presentation, but I did something a few years ago on Valentine's Day on my page where I talks about Valentine's Day. And one of my main, I had other sources, but one of my main sources was these 2 books here. Like I said, I'm bringing the United Kemet Press book out, the outline of United States historical development, because we just went through, I know a lot of our people celebrated the 4th of July. I call it the 4th of July. If you understand why I call it the 4th of July, we know that during the war, it was 2 different European, different European powers going to war against each other. We know England was going against the European powers in the United States. United States, they want to be up under the thumb of the United States, which is all in these books here too. And they began to fight, and they got tired of the United States, got tired of people dying, the Europeans counterparts. So they told a lie to our ancestors and told us that we fight in the war for and gain our independence, or gain their independence over England, then they would set us free. But that was a lie. We helped them win the war and helped the United States gain their independence. And through helping them gain their independence, we was put back into slavery. So this is why we call it the 4th of July, because they lied to our ancestors. So these are two great books. It also gives an outline, especially in book one. It's African people and the European holidays and the mental genocide. This is by Ishaka Musa Barashango. He's an ancestor now. So Majuba Iba Ishaka Musa Barashango. Again, he's a late great ancestor. I have two other books he have. These are two recommendations to have so you can understand the mental genocide of us, why we are celebrating these European holidays. What was these European holidays rooted on? So I think if we have a better understanding of what these European holidays that we celebrated has nothing to do with us, then I think we will stop celebrating. But book one, it highlights a lot of things that deal with the outline of and development also of the United States, but it also goes into Christmas, it goes into Thanksgiving, it goes into the 4th of July, it goes into Valentine's Day, and he actually gives you a backdrop of the roots on these different European holidays and the development and the true meaning behind some of these holidays. So those all I have. These I could bring out more, but these were some of the recommendations that I think people should have. And also, I don't have the book on me. It's at my library, but this is necessary, not supported. Spirits of the Mossi book. If you hadn't got that, I highly recommend that book. And I'm not saying that because I'm a co-writer of the book. I'm saying it because those who actually bought the book, read the book, and given us highly recommending the book. So go get your Spirits of the Mossi, a historical survey in the mind of African warrior scholars, volume 1. Go get that book now and be on the lookout for volume 2, which is dropping August the 14th. That's all I have, man. Shoot, next, whoever else want to start with their recommendation. So again, write these books down. If y'all read these books that we recommended, write these books down. You know, we're not leading you wrong with these texts that we're recommending. T'Challa, I guess you can go next, man, if you want to.
Okay. I was trying to find my what you call it, Japanese newsletter, but it's okay because I got more than enough material right here. So let me see. Look for the camera on there. All right, cool. So let me just do this like this. All right, y'all can see that?
Yeah, we can see.
Stack of books here. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to run down this as quickly as possible. The reason why I got all these up here is because all of this has to do with my influence, where I draw my wisdom from, and what's been helping me with my studies. And yes, I deal with all of these and more, all right? So first one I have here is Ancient Egyptian Calligraphy, A Beginner's Guide to Writing Hieroglyphs, right? I got this from the good brother Njie. Shout out to Njie and the Civilzation research team. That's for penmanship, those that's interested in Kemet, interested in learning how to, you work on your really becoming a scribe as best as we can in a modern sense in terms of writing and learning how to write out the glyphs, keeps you focused, all that good kind of thing. I got my Tam Manding Djembe Academy book, A Curriculum for Traditional Djembe and Dunun. This is an official book by the Grandmaster Mamadi Keita. I've shown this a few times. It's got some great information in here. Let's see. For people that don't deal with science, you need to get you some National Geographics and reading what's going on. Speaking of 4th of July, we got the Founding Fathers edition, right? And so we going into, you know, growing up in school, this is what we learned about, and these are the people who we mainly was resting our eyes upon, right? Just looking at these kind of people, learning about them in school. None of these people look like us. And these were the same people stealing from us, robbing from us, raping us, pillaging us, kidnapping us, at the same time setting up fields of study like Egyptology, the only geographical location that has a scientific field named after it, physics, various areas, other areas of science and mathematics that's advancing during the time of the transatlantic slave trade. Real important to deal with that. I got a classic right here, Amun-Ra Squad study guide. Yeah, when I first got introduced to the Amun-Ra Squad, I went on ahead and ordered this. It's got a lot of great information in there for those that's really coming into the quote unquote conscious community or just getting out of being stuck in a box with your thinking. Next, let's deal with, so of course, the Nisu Biddy. As you see, we all rock with Brother Asar. Extra hard. I'm talking about the long way. We rocking with this brother. And not because we like his personality, not because, you know what I'm saying, we like the particular streaming service that he uses. It's because when you open up this book, there is so much in here, especially for those that's interested in linguistics like I am, as well as being a multilingual person like I am. I think I've mentioned it a few times that I'm, you know, on my way to being a polyglot. I study every day in various languages that I'm trying to learn. And I actually have a knack for pattern recognition. Not to toot my own horn, but I do. As a musician, I always had a knack for recognizing patterns, complex sounds, and being able to mimic those things. Which is some of the skill sets in learning languages. You have to recognize patterns and be able to mimic those patterns and make those connections in nature of why certain things are what they are in different languages. Let's see here. This is a book, The Science of Self-Realization. So this is a Indian Hindu influence on, you know, how they feel in terms of self-realization, being aware of self, self-knowledge, know thyself, however you want to put it. So you want to draw from all different sources, right? You chew the meat, spit out the bones, or you chew the leaves and spit out the stem for my vegetarian brothers. Shout out to Kofi for that. You want to get your knowledge base from all different types of stuff. There's stuff in here that I definitely would not, in terms of as an African-centered person, say that I agree with, but there's a lot of information in here that I do agree with because, you know, you have to learn from all sources if you're really going to be a well-rounded scholar or aspiring scholar, I should say. Right. The I Ching or Book of Changes, getting into my Asian influence once again. There's a lot to be said about the Tao Te Ching, Taoism, the I Ching. This book is deep, y'all. Like, I had to build my girl the other day on being able to disengage when you in an altercation. It's real deep because as a conflict resolution manager in grade school, I had to help other kids disengage when they got into it. And books like this, man, it comes with a couple coins and you're supposed to, it's almost like, let me word my words right. It's almost like the concept behind divinations with the trade and the powder and the bones and everything, because you don't just read this book from cover to cover. You throw your coins and then you do a few other things and then it tells you what page to turn to. All right. Of course, didn't think I was going to get up on here and show all this literature, even though it's on our thumbnail, what's the names? Sutekh, you got your thing working?
Yeah, he good now.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Sutekh. We can't even hear you now. We
muted.
can see you, but he
There you
talking.
go.
Back.
Yeah. Save me some of that cantaloupe too, bro. But so get your spears of the Mossi. You already know what's up. We touching the continent with it. Yeah. A little bit of boasting going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that, we're gonna keep shouting them out, man. Shout out to the Gay and Journal Skilled Academy in Senegal. Shout out to the Gay and Journal Skilled Academy School in Senegal.
Facts. A good classic here, the Saku Foundation of Writings for an African Psychology. Good brother Wade Nobles. Again, there's a lot that people will not rock with in here, just from different people I've talked to over the years. But if you know anything, you know that this is a good book to have in the library. I don't care what nobody say. You know, we don't have to agree with. We don't agree like Brother Asar talk about the model that he uses. He was just saying it the other day that Theophilo Benga uses. Where he differs from him in his scholarship and upgrading and advancing. You know, that's what this thing is about. We're about we take what our teachers say, and even us on the panel, there are certain discussions, like we had a real good build offline yesterday, yo. And it was different ideas we were throwing back and forth. And sometimes we don't always understand what the next person is saying, and we might disagree at first, but then we have to really listen to what our brothers and sisters are saying, so we can figure out if we actually agree with their theory or not. And it's okay to not agree. I don't want these brothers to agree with everything I say. I want them to check me so that I can upgrade my scholarship. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa. I'm gonna check them if I'm qualified to, and if they are making errors, not on no aha moment, just on some, if I know that information is outdated, I'm gonna go ahead and offer up in my brother out of love that here's some information to update, and I expect them to do the same to hold me accountable. Good classic right here that a lot of us don't have. Distinguished African-American scientists of the 20th century. There that science thing is again. I'm big on science. This thing right here goes in the brothers and the sisters that is responsible for a lot of the things that we have. Really get this one right here, yo. Okay. Bear with me, y'all. I know I got a lot, but this is important because this is what I get into. Underground Railroad in Illinois, because I'm up here in the Shy. This thing right here goes in the brothers and the sisters that, somebody got their what's the name on?
My bad, I transferred to my iPad.
Kofi over there just showing off all his technologies. Of course, you got the classic right here. This joint, man, it's so much in here that you can still just refute arguments just by mentioning the title. Especially because of the dates that the great ancestor chose to deal with.
That was one of my books I started to pull out and put on here, but I put it back and grabbed the outline of United States historical development. Yeah.
Got to deal with that. And of course, my shout out to Brother Shawn for this one. I think I first heard about this book and the Ma'at book because of him. Recommended it on a random video back when I really wasn't knowing these good brothers here on the panel. Saba, a Researcher's First Handbook. Y'all already know what it is. Dr. Ife and Dr. Taka. You gotta have this one, bro. Especially if you into science or any kind of research period. All these tables, charts, and methods you see. I highlight whole pages in my books. I don't care. People know it's my book because I done highlighted the whole thing. I'm just saying, yo, it's deep. Like this joint, you really need it. You really need this one. Especially if you got kids and they trying to do a chart and graphs and all that kind of stuff, man, they go in with that. Put this Declaration of Independence to the side for a second because I'm gonna end with that. Ma'at, here it is. Another one that you just gotta have. I mean, y'all see, this is some work. This is something that I read every day. And the thing about a book, I got all these books up here, like I'm just like, you know, recommend this book, recommend this book. I deal with each and every one of these books 3 and 4 times. So I might take a chapter and I might spend 3 days on it out of respect for the author and the work that they put in to create the thing, because you can't just read something once or twice and think you got it. That's where reading comprehension come in. You got to read it 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times to get it. Right? We almost done. Oh, this is just a little pamphlet of the Buddhist center that I joined here in Chicago, the founder. Again, I'm into martial arts, warrior code, Bushido code, studying the Japanese and meditation, dealing with monks, all of that kind of stuff, philosophy, all of that. Learning the Japanese language. And there's a strong connection and similarity between Far East cultures, Asian cultures, Japanese and Chinese, etc., and the way that certain African systems get down philosophically, especially when you study in martial arts. So let's see here. Yeah, I got another Soka Gakkai International. That's the name of the Buddhist center here. Buddhism is a whole nother animal. It is a modern religion, so to speak, but it is not like your Abrahamic faiths where it ties you down and leaves you closed-minded. Buddhism actually tells you to be open-minded and to let go of everything. It's a real good thing to just look up on if you ain't, you know, if you're looking for something else to try to study. The Wisdom of Rastafari. This came from an era when I was learning Jamaican patois. By the way, yes, when I talk about learning certain languages and being able to say certain words in certain languages, I can do that. I don't boast and be up here like, oh, whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I do that. And anybody who knows me in my personal circles, they know that I get down like that. Taught myself how to speak Jamaican patois because I was around a lot of them. I performed West African drum and dance, so I was around plenty of them throughout the years. And it's a lot of good information in this book. But in the Jamaican language itself, there's a lot of wisdom in connection to Africa, being that the language is made up of British and Irish English, as well as various West African languages, primarily being Akan, Ashanti Twi from Ghana. Can't leave Big Brother Ankh out with the chronology of human evolution. A lot of people have talked smack about this book. It's garbage, it's trash, man. This brother really put it down with this book. Real easy read, but it's a lot of good information in here. And lastly, I have here a copy of the Declaration of Independence, because, you know, everybody that was talking that post-racial society crap back before this COVID-19 hit, they was talking about how, you know, things are so good. We live in a post-racial society. And then the next, you know, police, turn this camera off. The police mass murdering and things of that nature that's been going on. Now, all of a sudden, is back in everybody's face. I got a copy of that on a college tour a few years ago because I wanted to just see what the thing said for myself. And the date on it, July 4th, 1776, what was going on in that year, we were still picking cotton, still picking sugarcane, still the tobacco stalks, still getting whips and lashes, still getting pulled apart by horses, still getting, you know what I'm saying, spit on, all of that. Getting blamed for rapes that the husbands did to the wives blaming us for it, getting messed with in the barnyard, all of those type of things. It's important to understand, study European history, because it's the key to opening up the door to African history. So you need to study it all. And on that note, man, I've been talking for a while. That's just some of what I get into. So I'm gonna pass the mic.
Who wanna go next, man?
I'll go, Kofi.
Okay.
Let's see. So, 2 books that I feel everybody should have is my big smile, Kofi. Get you one of these.
Oh my goodness.
Get you one of these. Everybody need these too.
Oh,
This is the way, y'all.
I'll co-sign
I
that.
knew it. I knew you couldn't hold out.
Oh man, I couldn't hold it in. I'm over here. Oh man.
They're like, what?
I'm over here crying.
Oh shit.
Nah, but this the one that everybody need, you know. It's the one everybody need right here. It's the top book on my list right now. And then I like me and T'Challa, we got a good vibe together, man, because I be on that I Ching as well. You know, it should be the same. I don't know what copy you got, T'Challa, but it's an I Ching book, and yeah, I think everybody should be well versed. Even in the 2 that I held up earlier, like even though I was joking, like you still want to know about them though. You know what I'm saying? You still want to be aware of them. You still want to be able to, you know, be well versed in it. So although it was a joke, I still would recommend people have those on deck just in case. But yeah, this is a good one right here. This will have you real level-headed. Another one is this one. I don't know if anybody showed this one yet.
Nah.
Because I was trying to grab books that ain't nobody show, but yeah, this is The Teachers of Ptahhotep. This book right here, this is another book that'll have you real level-headed. Take that ego away about you, all that good stuff, show you the way of living and stuff like that. So, and it help you in certain situations that you in too.
We're gonna have to build on that I Ching offline, Sutekh.
Yeah, we definitely can. We definitely can get it in. Another book is this my op book right here, and I seen T'Challa went over it as well. But yeah, this is one of my favorites out of University of Kemet Press right here is the Ma'at book, and a lot of the morals and stuff in here you'll even find in that African philosophies that they follow banging that Kofi showed up that Kofi showed us because some of that stuff is in here as well. So this is a good book. Like this is a real good book. I got other works of theirs, but this one right here, this one I could read this one a lot.
I think, man, that book, man, if that need to be something in the, if you say you're a part of the conscious community, I think this is something that definitely every person that says they in the conscious community should have. And the reason why I'm saying that because most of the people in the conscious community, I know we have the Hebrew Israelites
together right here.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to leave this one out if we're gonna make it a standard. I would say these two.
Right. Because if you're talking about most of the people in there, either Pan-Africanists, RBG, they adapted to some type, they found out where they actually come from, so they are practicing E5 or they are practicing some form of what the Remich was doing or emulating what some of the Remich was doing or practicing Voodoo or practicing Odinani. These are the books that you should have when we talk about Africans. And when you study African culture, their main objective is to cultivate good character. So those two books are definitely two books to have if you want to cultivate good character.
Yeah. So yeah, these two right here, these solid character building books. For my next, I got two more books after this one. I'm going all the way to Kemet with it. So a lot of the people know I'm a part of the Seshew, my Medew group, and you know that's my foundation. So I got this book here, the Book of Gates. If you particularly like looking at text, this is a good book to have because it has the glyphs, has the transliteration and the translation on here. So and it goes through dang, I forget which it's a couple people's temples in here. But yeah, this or tombs out of their tombs. So yeah, this is a good one right here that I like to read a lot. And following that, we have the book of the Amduat. This is another underworld textbook, which is very good. You know, I like this one as well. I keep these real close. Has a translation, transliteration, all that good stuff. You know, it got the primaries on there. They just walk through each one. Let's see if I can find a bigger picture. There's a bigger one. So this is the Tomb of Tutmos the Third, but yeah, it got that on there, the big picture, and then the next picture is the rendition of it, and then the following picture, you know, start breaking the text down. So yeah, I like this one a lot. And for my last book that I got here is going to be the Ancient Egyptian Coffin Text. This book right here is the truth, like for real. This one right here, I ain't gonna say I mess with it over the Book of Gates and Amduat, but they neck and neck. Like I keep these three real close because it's nice. But the only thing with this one is that so if you open it up, it's just translation. It's not like that, but I mean, when you go through here and then you cross-reference it with everything you know that's out there, you know, it's pretty accurate, you know. So yeah, this is one of my top books as well right here, and that will conclude my books that I have for y'all. Of course, we all got a bunch of books. Kofi probably got the most, but he probably went to go grab one just now. But yeah, this a solid book right here. So yeah, that's what you go grab, Kofi.
Oh no, I ain't grabbing nothing out. I'm a son. I left here. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So that's it for me, man. That's my books right there.
Yeah, and those are some excellent books to have, especially if you're dealing with Kemet. Those definitely are some good books to have.
Yeah.
I use every last one of those books that you use. I actually use when we're talking about Ra and me understanding the many manifestations of Ra. So those definitely are good books. And then, like I'm saying, like he said, though, just like the Theophila Banga book, it actually has the translations and transliterations in the books as well. So when I use them for the lenses of Ra, if you study the lenses of Ra and want to understand more about Ra and who is Ra and the many manifestations of Ra, or why I say Ra is Shu, Ra is Tefnut, Ra is a tomb, then study those lenses of Ra. There's two different actations dealing with the lenses of Ra. You got the small and the big, and those books definitely go, even just understanding the Duwap, or understanding those different Duwap books. Those are the Andawap, the Duwap, the same though, the Netherworld, the Underworld, Texas, about Ra traveling. Those definitely are some good books to have if you're trying to understand the underworld. So we got Sutekh and we got Vasa. And again, like I said, y'all write these books down. If y'all think these are some interesting books that, you know, that y'all definitely want to have, you know, write them down, you know, and when you get a chance, put them in, save them in your Amazon cart and get those, definitely cop those books. And Sarah, real quick, Sarah, Asar, I put the link, if you still in here, he's wanting that book, Outline United States Historical Development of 1492 to Present by United Kemet Press. That's the link. I think they took all their books off of Amazon.com and they sell them all. They pressing their own stuff up now, and it's on their website. So the website, anybody else that want to get any of the United Kingdom Press, because that book, the Ma'at book, that T'Challa and Sutekh and Ra showed. Sutekh and Ra, you showed another book though, didn't you? The United Kingdom Press. Then you just showed them Ma'at book.
No, I just showed them my book, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I did when I purchased. I purchased 4 books from them, and I bought it from them direct. You know, and they gave me a nice little ticket on it. I can't remember what it was. It was a couple years ago, but it was definitely less than what I would have paid going through Amazon. So I would hit them brothers up direct.
Yeah, they got the website up now. Everything off of Amazon. So I put the link in the chat. So Sarah, if you got it, let me know, man. I see it in there. But go ahead, next person.
All right, I'm gonna go. Peace to the fam. Peace to the chat. Peace to those that will see it in the archives. It's your brother Sutekh, the Moor Slayer. All right, I'm gonna let y'all know if y'all want to know who built the pyramids. There we go. Can we see that?
He's silly, man.
Not you too, Sutekh.
Nah, man, I'm just playing, but I ain't even read that, bro. I don't even know why about that. I bought it from a thrift store. But this, I'm gonna show a couple of books outside of what I've been studying for the last about half year. But first, I'm gonna get into these couple of books. This is 2,000 Years of Christianity in Africa. It does a good job of displaying Christianity from the start to the end in Africa. It goes all the way from Christianity in Ethiopia to Christianity in West Africa. You see why I got it marked that Dahomey, Nigeria, Ghana. Yeah, this is a good book though. John Bauer. I never heard of this author beforehand, but I need to check out some more literature from dude because this was a good book. Another one was Christianity Through the Centuries. It basically does the same thing from a different perspective. Very good book. I haven't went all the way through it, but yeah, I got this from a thrift store too. Thrift stores I'll be coming up off the thrift stores.
Yeah, you find some gems in the thrift store, man.
Yeah,
Real, don't sleep on the thrift store, y'all.
That's what I go for.
Oh, that's a funny job.
Yeah. We got History of Islam in Africa by Nehemiah Lebzian. If anybody is a student of Islam in Africa, then you know Lebzian, you know Nehemiah, right? This is a very good book. It's very extensive. It goes into every aspect of Islam from the rooter to the tutor. The only thing I don't really like about it is it kind of don't go in order. It kind of be all over the place at times, but he's very extensive. He's very detailed, and he goes into a lot of subjects that other authors that deal with Islam in Africa don't talk about. We have the beginnings of modern Morocco, Ahmed Al-Mansur. I just got this book probably about a month ago. I haven't went all the way through this either. I went through about half of it, but the half that I went through is very interesting. It deals with Ahmad al-Mansur from Morocco around and during the fall of Songhai. If you know anything about Songhai in 1591 and the Moroccan invasion, it deals with a lot of that in this from al-Mansur's perspective. When you read the Tariqs, it deals with the takeover and life around Songhai and Mali from their perspective, from the Black African perspective. But this is the North African perspective. So this is a good one. You got to read both sides, all sides. So check out this if you are in the same lane that I am. Archaeology of Islam in Sub-Saharan Africa, Timothy Insall. This is this is a author as well. If you are studying Islam in Africa, you will run across Timothy Insall. He is a good author on the subject. This book is very detailed as well. I really don't have nothing bad to say about this book, except maybe at points in times he seems like he's an apologist for Islam, but other than that, man, like the brother said, you gotta chew the meat, spit out the bones. So this is a good one too. Very good author, very well esteemed author. So make sure you get that if you are studying Islam in Africa. I got this. They jibbed me. I got this from Amazon. I thought it was an actual book. It's more like a kid's book. It's supposed to be about the Kanem Bornu Empire. I mean, it got a little something in it, but I thought it was, an actual book. That's how thin that is. But it got some good gems in it though, actually, and it got a lot of pictures of the artifacts and stuff that they found there. So yeah. West Africa, Islam, and the Arab World by John Hunwick. John Hunwick, another well-esteemed author if you're dealing with Islam in Africa. These names that I'm bringing up, if you are looking into Islam in Africa, you're gonna have to deal with these authors. You can't get around it. Very profound. This is a very good book. I use this book extensively working on my chapter in volume 2. Goes into a lot of things, especially dealing with how the Arabs felt about the Black Africans. I'll say that. Race and Slavery in the Middle East. Very good book. Bernard Lewis, another well-esteemed author. You can't get around him if you're going into Islam in Africa. This book is very, very good when you're dealing with discrimination, race, or quote unquote ethnicities, how they felt about certain people. This is the other book that I use very extensively when dealing with when writing my volume 2 chapter. So this is a very good book, and I use this book extensively when writing or putting together my my presentation on the same topic. Documents from the African Past. This book is a good miscellaneous book. It kind of just deals with certain documents that have to deal with Africa. Like, let's see, we got from the jihads to the Hijra to, let me see what else we got. We got Ibn Battuta in East Africa. Got Ibn Battuta in Mali. We got Zarara, which is the Portuguese chronicler, in 1435. We got King Alfonso. I mean, these are just different documents and letters. It's very helpful if you're looking for some type of documentation, but don't need to go through a whole book to find it. You know what I mean? He's dealing with the Jaga. And got Songhai, Morocco, Al Sadi, 1591, the Moroccan invasion. But I was just talking about. You got Kanem Wars. It's a lot of good miscellaneous documents in here. We got Ibn Battuta and Black Africa. This is what this is going through what Ibn Battuta seen in Africa, from East Africa to Mali Empire and West Africa. It's a short book, but it is straight to the point. It goes right in and basically details his life, his travels, not just it says in Black Africa, but it also touches on his supposed travels to other places like India, Asia, so forth. So this is a good little short read. I got a couple of PDFs too that I want to show. Let me try to pull one up real quick. Maybe I'll just pull one up. I almost forgot to do this on my tab. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I gotta do too much. Yeah, I'll just about, or maybe I can just mention them without showing them. You gotta get, if you're dealing with West African Kingdom, West African Taj, well, you gotta get both the Tariqs, the Tariq Al Sudan, the Tariq Al Fatash. Them both deal with certain parts of Mali Empire, and it deals with the Songhai Empire. It deals with it from a first-hand perspective. So these are primary sources written by the people themselves. You got to get those, the Tariq Al Fatash and the Tariq Al Sudan. Another one that I suggest reading is The Legacy of Arab Islam in Africa by John Azuma. John Azuma is a Nigerian Christian, and he is writing on Arab Islam from the perspective of a Christian, and kind of trying to mend Islamic and Christian ties. So it's basically addressing some of the romanticism that is created by Muslims in Africa. So it's a very good book, very extensive. He deals with conversion. He deals with Islam if being synchronized or syncretized in the African culture. He deals with a lot of stuff, man. So you need to get that book. He's talking about Islam from the perspective of an Nigerian Christian. Let me see what else. It is a book called Muslim Traders, Songhai Warriors, and the Armor. The Armor are the people that came down from North Africa, Morocco in 1591 when they invaded Songhai. They stayed, they never left. They intermixed with the native people, the indigenous people, and created a whole different ethnic group, and they were called the Armor. So that's what that book is dealing with, the Songhai warriors, the traders of that Muslim era, and the Armor that came down from North Africa and stayed mixed with the people and created a whole nother ethnic group. Let me see what else before I get too long with it. Let me grab one more. Okay, yeah. I can't leave this out. Encyclopedia of African Religion. This book is so extensive. It has some of everything in it. I've used this book in almost every one of my presentations. It is edited by Malefe Kete Asante, but it has different articles by a host of different authors talking about different subjects from A to Z. It's literally an encyclopedia. It has just about anything you can find, anything you're looking for, you will find in this encyclopedia. So if you've been paying attention to our presentations, you will see a lot of times, at least damn near half the times, one of us is using this book. One of us is sourcing this book. So make sure you get Encyclopedia of African Religions by Malefe Kete Asante. And I'll just stop there.
And that's a great book to have, man, right there. That all of them, especially if they're versed in what you're versed in, studying those Arabic sources, especially when you're dealing with the Moors, Islam, Muslims in Africa. But that last one also too, I think everybody on this panel, or just about everybody on the panel and on this research team, has used the last source. And if I tell you, and this book here, matter of fact, before I'll show it a little bit later, we'll go on to Vasa. I'll show y'all how much these books actually cost. The book and the PD and the ebook, I'll show y'all exactly how much that costs. And the first 5 people that Facebook messaged me with a picture of the Spirits of the Mossi book, I'll send you. Say the name of the book again. Sutekh.
Say what?
The name of the book. Tell them the name of the book again.
What, the Encyclopedia of African Religion?
Encyclopedia of African Religion. It is one of my top books. It is one of my go-tos at all time. I don't care what you're looking for. You'll be able to find it. You'll be able to find it. If you want to know about divination, you'll be able to find it. You want to know about Corey shells, you'll be able to find it. You want to know about Ori Tutu, what is the Ori, you'll be able to, whatever it is, you'll be able to find it in this particular book. And it is, the price is a high price. And I'll show y'all at the end of it. And I'll send 5 people if they can prove to me that they bought the Spirits of the Mossi book. I'll send it to you, but I'll show the thing of it first. This book is not $30 and $40. It's not a $50 book. It's not a $60 book. It's not a $75 book. It's not a $90 book. It's not a $100 book. We'll see. Is it $100? Is it more than $100? But the first people that Facebook messaged me or email us at info@KofiPiesie.tv, info@KofiPiesie.tv.com. The first 5 that can show a picture you actually have the book, The Spirits of the Mossi, we'll send y'all that book. Go ahead, boss.
Give me like 10 more seconds, please. Yeah, just give me like 10 more seconds.
Since receiving my Spirits of the Mossi book, I've downloaded the Encyclopedia of African Religion. Use it to look up the spirit the Lili were concerned with. Okay, so far. Okay, yeah, no doubt. That's one of, if you look, peace to you too, Detro 0861. Yeah, we use that book a lot, man. And a lot of our presentations on this, we're one of that as a source when we're dealing with information on the channel. So that's definitely one of our go-to books, man. And it's definitely a book that you need to have in your in your collection. You ready, Voss?
Yeah, we can get started. Let me get my camera and all that set up. My bad, y'all. I really don't have one set book to bring to mind though. Kind of woke up right when y'all was getting started.
We don't want your whole bookcase now. We don't want your whole bookshelf now.
Oh man, how do I flip my camera?
There it is. You flip. Okay, there
My
it is.
son is sleeping in the bed, but of course I had to grab this one. It's a small book, but it's a powerful book. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
The chronology of history of the Negro in America.
I like this one. I don't know what all we are aiming at as far as the book suggestions go. But if you don't have time to read, but you want to learn, this book goes year by year and just gives small accounts of our history. From state to state, person to person. They start from, I know they didn't start in 1712. I know they started before that. Starting in 1492. And I just give you a rundown of how it looks. I'm gonna see if I can find one of interest to read. Well, I'll do stuff like this. In 1522, there was a slave revolt in Hispaniola. So I'll take this on my little spare times and I'll just look into that. I'll keep searching 1522 slave revolts and I'll search and search and search until I find the whole story. I like this book. I think we should pull sources together and make another version of this book. I'm trying to find when this was published. This came out in 1969. And needless to say, we've made a lot of accomplishments since 1969, and we have more stories since then to tell. This is one, I pulled this off the shelf because the conversation keeps coming up. I've suggested people get this one numerous times as well. The myth, the troubling persistence of an unscientific idea, the myth of race. This is a good one to have so you can get a general grasp of that conversation in its entirety. It talks about Darwinism and all that good stuff, but it goes into the origins of all these things. There's an early time chart, and it just breaks you down the ideas, what they was writing about, who they was competing against with these ideas, who they influenced, and how these ideas influenced cultures on a whole. It's a real good one to have. And then as far as stuff to read over here, you know I love my Cimarrones. This is a good one to have. The Invisible War. This is going into the Seminole Wars. I like this one because he got prints of a lot of the primary accounts. That's a good one. Put this underneath there. It's a short book, but it's powerful. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So is this one, this Longest Way Home. This is about Oklahoma's back to Africa movement with Chief Alfred Sim. That's a real good book, and it breaks down to the story. I don't know if they have any new updated information on his ending of his story in the Americas at the times. A lot of people say he conned all the Black people, took their money and ran off. But later on, you will find accounts of a lot of people in Africa who thrived with him. I think he went into the cocoa business. I think he went to Ghana and started a cocoa business. These are the books I was currently working on with my lynching chapter coming up in the next volume. The first 3 books I completed, and I'm going to pull from those the most because I had time to complete those. And I'm going to suggest those in the book for people to get. These are the other ones that I got to go with it. This brother here, I found out he's from Oklahoma. He's about 30 minutes away from where I'm from, a small town called Wowoka, where his parents are. I have to break through that one. Let me get that one. I didn't even know he was from Oklahoma until I opened the book. It's called Domestic Genocide, the Institutionalization of a Society. And he's gonna go into, a lot of our plights and then Becoming Free, Becoming Black, and Black Rights, White Wrongs. Those are 2 books I'm trying to get into at the moment. This is my favorite book, period, hands down. Is Black Oklahoma History. It's just one of my favorite books. I've read it so many times, I done tore it apart. I keep my grandpa in it when he passed away. I would like to see it updated, but Kofi, I wish I could have sent this to you before you did your chapter as well, because it gives you a lot of the primary documents from the court cases of when we was fighting against the tribal nations during the Freedmen's era. I'm trying to see where I can find it. That's my uncle. I didn't know that until recently. His name is Thomas M. Haynes. I just found that out doing the book. I'm trying to find where it starts talking about the Indian removals. I'm getting close. I'm trying to just show you how it looks, how they lay it out. But they give you these, and then they give you a printed translation, because you can see that's kind of hard to read. But it starts talking about the territorial days and goes into what the Indians was doing, what whites was doing, what the Union was doing, what the South was doing, and what we was doing. It's a lot of good stuff in here. I wish they would have had the opportunity to go more in depth into Edward P. McCabe's movement with making the all-Black state, what was working, what wasn't working. But maybe that's something we can work on.
Where you get that book at, Vox?
What, this one?
Yeah.
I'm not taking no shots at my family, but they had it sitting around, and it really stems from, let me find it. I'll just show y'all the picture. My great-grandpa's in this book. Let me see if I can find him. We had this book sitting on the shelf when I was a kid. My grandpa always pushed me to read. Here he is, right here. Neely Factor was one of the first Black marshals in Oklahoma. I want to say the family more or less had it just to show everybody this picture, but I don't think any of these Negroes actually read the book. And me being little, I would just read what I could, and over time, this just became my favorite book. Show y'all my grandpa again. So I can get a better picture maybe this way. And he worked with Bash Reeves, all that good stuff. I like this book because I like the way they did it. They kind of mixed, it's a novel, but they mixed real history in it. And it's called Ragtime. I had no clue what it was about at first, but it's got us in it's centered around ragtime music in the, what is that, early 1900s to the 1920s. And it goes into a story about a successful Black man going to look for his lady, and his car breaks down. I don't want to give the premise away, but it brings out a lot of cultural things of the time that I found interesting. Like, for example, it talks about how you see the birth of America's infatuation with Egypt through J.P. Morgan when he started trying to collect everything from museums, and how it created a craze of Americans trying to get their hands on everything Egypt, from curtains to tablecloths. Started doing their movie theaters that way. All that stuff comes into play. And then in this closet, I don't know if y'all ever seen this one. Y'all seen this one? Real Questions, Real Answers.
What's that saying, the thing? What's this? Focusing. Okay, focusing together leadership on school improvement. Nah.
Who's that at the top?
Joseph H. Clark. Did they say Joseph H. Clark?
John Henry Clark.
Oh, I can't see that. Pull it back up again. All right, your hands, your nerves,
Yeah.
man. But yes.
I don't have a light in here, and I'm trying to see. I don't have a light. I turned my closet into a library. This
Yeah.
was literally supposed to be my damn closet, but I turned it into a library. That one up there, it's a kid's book, that Fort Mose. But man, it's awesome. It's awesome for people who need to get introduced to the story. I like that one. I had to put these up top because that's a pop-up book. It kind of shows you how the slave ships looked and all that. And I got to keep my boy from tearing it up. This is the kids' rack. I kind of designed it to where, you know, it'll be conducive and appealing to them. I just get whatever I can. Like, if you can afford a book and it's not going to hurt you, get it. I don't care what it is, especially for kids. I got these 100 facts about Egypt, the Vikings, Rome, China. Those help me pass college classes. Having those little bitty facts, they straight to the point, things you need to know to make distinctions in between cultures. Little things like that can serve a benefit. Then, you know, I got the more advanced stuff, and I keep these lower now because they older. But yeah, I got my little Indian stuff for all those. I don't know if y'all can see those. That's a good one. This is a National Geographic. It breaks down all the tribes. Kofi, I'm gonna send you this one. Let me get the real title. Oh, it's the Smithsonian series, my bad, not National Geographic. But they break down the tribes in this. Let me see. And tells you about who they are, what they was. I'll send you this one. Hey,
Dope, brother. I need that. What,
that's a little colored boy. It says, Drawn of Savages of the Several Nations, New Orleans, 1735. But yeah, and see, little things like this, we can look at stuff like this. This is where I get infatuated with the history part. We can start examining who drew this picture, what was they trying to say, what was going on, and we can bring that to the forefronts. We're not going to look at this picture and say, look, we always told you we was always here. Look at them trying to steal that young brother's lake. We don't move that way. But you can find us almost everywhere in human history. So don't be afraid to pick up books on human history. These are books I got to give away, Kofi. These are the ones I was supposed to send you. This one was supposed to go particularly to Shawn for his backpack drive. The backpack is still sitting over there. And then I bought these for every brother on the team. This Black Images, The Art of West Africa. Everybody got one. I just haven't had the money and the time to send them off to everybody individually.
Yeah, I need mine. Interesting.
But yeah, you're going to get you some cash out, man, so I can cash out you so we can get them. I forgot all about them. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I know you mentioned them. You mentioned it, and you want to send it to everybody on the team, but I forgot all about it, man. Ooh,
this was a
minute ago.
This is a crazy story. I like it. It goes into the Chicago World Fair at the time. And if I'm not mistaken, it was centered around H.H. Holmes, America's first, serial killer. Man, that man was sick. How he was putting bodies up in the hotel and burning them and all that. A lot of this stuff I like to read. I think we do need to learn our opponent and learn their history. One of the best pieces of work I've ever found on medieval Europe and trying to get a grasp on their culture. I gave away my first volume. This is a 2-set book. But Feudal Society by Block. These are some good books. This is volume 2. And it's social classes and political organizations. I forgot what the first entire volume was called. But those are good to have. And yeah, I like reading. This was a good one. I was shocked to find us in it. This history of Latin America. This is the man who said, without doubt, that the Africans brought a sense of warriorhood to the Americas. That they was the people of the most valor and the most honor. So I really don't know where to go to begin. Because to me, when it comes to books, to suggest something, I suggest you find a topic you like and get as much as you can on it. Like all that up there is just my psychology books. I got them for children. I got them for young people, aging. Breaks into, this one shouldn't be up there, but this Indo-Europeans, that shouldn't be up there. I like stuff like this. I got this one. This shouldn't be up there either. I got a disc for this cosmic perspective. I want to make copies of it and give it to everybody who got kids who like messing with the stars, because it gives you a whole program that goes to this. This is a college book, but it gives you a whole program on how to track the stars, learn the weather, all that stuff.
I need that, brother.
I got you. I'll send you the disc. Then I suggested this book a couple of days ago. I forgot whose chat was talking. They was talking about religion. I think somebody said something about animism to Shawn, and he said African traditions aren't that. I would get this book for the beginners into that subject, but I wouldn't use it as an authority to debate that subject. This is just an introduction into what all these things are and how people look at them. And then I start breaking into the European Christian history, and I got this one for my Islam stuff. I got to break into that. I'm very, very weak when it comes to Islam. Somebody pulled out the Quran.
That's a good book.
Yeah, I got this one. One of the ones I like when it comes to that is this one. Was that Sutekh talking?
Yeah, Islam. That's a good book.
You see this one? I like this one a lot. Real good book. If you can find it, get your hands on it.
Anthropology of the Western religion.
Then I got, I do little stuff like this because I got little hard-headed ass cousins. I got my little pseudo books, and I wouldn't call Hall a pseudo, but I got some of those, them entertaining books.
I got some too.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, I got to show this.
Yeah, the Jesus is King book, dude.
This one. Get this one for everybody.
I got that book.
He shares a sentiment that I like in it. I forgot what page, but he talks about one of the conflicts that's going to forever be debated is whether things are moral or non-moral. And that's a conversation that we need to have when it comes to cultures developing, economics, research, science, and all that, because at the end of the day, that's been the greatest rift of what's moral. So yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna turn my camera off because I can't think of anything else to show at the moment.
That's cool. That's cool.
Got these. That's a little good one right there too. That National Geographic Inside Out for the kids. I like a little stuff like this. And I keep this open. I got all these. I started doing these for my grandpa when he passed away. These popular mechanics. Because I found out he liked reading these. So I started collecting them. I'm gonna go and put them at his burial site one day. Then I got my little shrine for him and my uncle. And Kofi, I'll end with this one again for you, because I don't know if you got it.
I don't know if I got that one or not. Did you recommend that one to me a while back here?
Yeah, it was me, you, and Dr. Maat.
Yeah, I got it. And yeah. I had never opened it. But yeah, I remember you was when I was talking about.
Gotta throw these out there for y'all. This is by Lifetime. It's probably old now. I'm trying to see if y'all can see it. Lifetime's books. And I'll just go, they got Egypt right there in the background. But the Age of Exploration, Ancient America, the 20th Century, Rise of Russia, Age of Kings, that's medieval Europe kings. Early Japan, the Byzantine era, the Age of Enlightenment, African kingdoms, Barbarian Europe, the Age of Faith, Imperial Rome, Classic Greece, Early Islam, the Cradle of Civilization, Ancient China, Historical India, and then African kingdoms again. And Kofi, this is
I got that the Early Islam book.
That warrior of the Nile, Kofi, that was a series of these. It was just an offshoot. But these are real good to have as well. And then those up there by the Folio Society. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, of course, y'all know, you got to have at least 15 of these on the shelf. Otherwise, it don't work.
Yeah.
Nothing in life will work unless you have 15 on the shelf.
Definitely.
Kofi said you got to use a red highlighter for the magic to work.
Yeah, you got to definitely get that spirits in the Mossi, man. Get that spirit.
And little books like this be good to have too. You never know what you find. Like in here, I think this is where I pulled. I think he was the one that talked about how dependent Rome was on Africa and the African economy and agricultural development of it, and how without it, Rome would have crumbled. You couldn't defeat no massive army like that without food. So we need to reevaluate how we look at things.
Yeah.
And then, this is the autism. This is my boy's way of, that's his scholarly works. It's making sure he decorates my room as well. Need to wake his little butt up. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I just got this one from I didn't get it from Danny.
If you say that's it one more time and show woman you done say that's it. I know
you know how many books I'm looking at every time.
And we try to. That's why I said I knew you were gonna do it. I could have
TV Cribs over there. He done showed us the whole damn house.
I knew he was gonna. That's why I said before we started out, we gonna show a few books because I could have walked down my wall.
Y'all want me to take y'all to the front library where all the good stuff is?
No.
All right then. All right.
Honest.
I can take you to all them heavy books in the front.
But yeah, like he said, man, we need to study everything. We need to study everything. Eat the fish and spit out the bone. We need to study European history, culture, Arab culture, Korean culture. But we need to study all those cultures because, especially European culture, they have been studying us and still studying us. So we have to, and that's one thing with me. I'm not a biased person. I study everything, even some of the sources or some of the stuff that Sutekh in. It's kind of, and even Shawn, it's kind of hard for me to get through some of my books dealing with Islam in Africa because of some of the prejudice perspectives and some of the stuff that they say about Africans. And I get pissed off and be ready to rip the book up and throw it in the trash. But we have to study everything, man. So I hope everybody's, took what we got and wrote some down, or even go back and rewind the video in the archives and write some of this stuff that some of the books that we read, some of our favorite books, some books that we recommend, some books that may be what you're specifically studying and researching at this particular time, man. So hope this show helped everybody out. I'm gonna share my screen real quick before we get up off of here. I always have to do that. Boom. Go back here. Let me know if my screen's still in my screen sharing, y'all. It's sharing over there.
Yeah, you good.
Okay, yeah, man. Yeah, this is real quick, but y'all gotta respect the shields. Kofi Piesie Research Team, and I guarantee just at the end of 2012, Kofi Piesie Research Team gonna definitely been solidify ourselves as a pretty good research team. Be on the lookout. I mean, there's so much things coming down the pipeline for Kofi Piesie Research Team. But respect the shield, Mossi Warrior Clan, respect the shield. But anyway, out now if you hadn't got a copy, or you've been up on the rock and don't know anything about it. But Mossi Warrior Clan presents Spirits of the Mossi, a historical survey in the minds of African warrior scholars, Volume 1, by Kofi Piesie Research Team. Each one of the individuals on the group co-wrote this great piece of work. And we definitely appreciate the support that we've been getting from the book. I mean, I didn't think we were gonna get this much support as we've been getting. The book it's definitely been selling. You know what I'm saying? We've been selling a lot of copies. Also, again, shout out to Jay and Jono Skill Academy School in Senegambia. The books, of those that may not have looked at the video that we did yesterday on Facebook, the book is definitely going to West Africa in a couple of weeks to the Gay and Journal Skilled Academy, where 10 students will have the book. It will be going into the Rights Library there, but the book will be in the hands of 10 students. The 10 students will have to write an essay, which will be in a contest. The book will help the school raise money. So we appreciate the school for allowing us to have the books down in their school and into their library. We appreciate LaDosha Wright, who actually did all the work to get it down there, because she actually very involved in the school and down there in Senegambia. She's out of Cleveland, Cleveland, Ohio. So peace to and shout out to Sister LaDosha. Shout out to again to the School Gay and Journal Skilled Academy, which your mission statement is to take people off the street and give them a skill and entrepreneurship. And again, that is in Senegambia. So now it is on its way to West Africa. And also here, Spears, From Spears to Pens, a historical survey in the mind of African warrior scholars, Volume 1 by Kofi Piesie Team. The official date is August the 14th, 2020. Hold on, y'all. Hey, son, I'm gonna call you right back, okay? Okay? All right. Yes, it's the book is finished. It's off to the editor right now. We will have the book back here in a couple of days or whatever, but the date is August the 14th for volume 1, and by time volume 1 for volume 2, by time volume 2 drop, they'll probably be in the process of doing the contest. And even with the book going to Senegambia, like we said, hopefully we'll have the footage. We're going to have the footage. Hopefully we'll have the footage of when the book actually arrived in West Africa to Senegambia, them unboxing the books, the 10 contestants who will be reading the book. The brother, I said his name, I can't remember his name right now, but the brother who's actually over the contest is going to be helping those students with the books and helping them write the essay on the books. We'll have that information. We'll have that footage, the footage of the contest, and we'll have copies of the essays from the book from those students in Senegambia at the Gay and Journal Skill Academy. Hopefully, probably at the end of August, all of this stuff will be to take place. Volume 2 will be already out. Hopefully, we'll do better with the pre-orders on this one. What I'm saying is, hopefully, the people that pre-order these books, we'll have their books, so they'll have their books before it actually is released on Amazon on the 14th. We're still working out a few things, so hopefully we'll be able to have that. We'll have the details here, and maybe 3 weeks, maybe in the next 3 weeks, we'll have details if that's what we're going to do. And if that's what we're going to do, we'll have the details on the pre-order, which will be on KofiPiesieTV.com. You can go get the Spears of the Mossi historical survey of the minds of African warrior scholars, volume 1 right now on KofiPiesieTV.com or Amazon.com. We'll be selling From Spears to Pens, the volume 2 on KofiPiesieTV.com as well as Amazon.com on August the 14th. We'll be taking pre-orders for that maybe in the next 3 weeks here, but we'll be back with more details on that later on. Also, if you want to look fly, while you read your book, or you want a shirt to match the book, or your book to match the shirt, go to KofiPiesieTV.com and get your Spears of the Mossi t-shirts. Spears of the Mossi. It's a nice shirt. Everybody that bought the shirt, said it was a nice shirt once they got the shirt. Again, it's the book cover on here, the title, and it has our shield, our logo on the side, the Kofi Piesie Research Team on each sleeve. This is a dope shirt to have, dope shirt to wear as well. And we always got to implement that red, black, and green in some form or shape. Also, as I learned, we all learned, those who have been following me for years and been following this platform, know that is one of our saying, as I learn, we all learn. We stand by that saying because each time that we come on our YouTube channel, the things that we learn, we are always sharing what we learn with the family. So as I learn, or as we learn, we all learn. So go get those shirts there. It's a warrior with a spear and a shield, Africa on one side, South America and the United States on the other side. As I learned, we all learn, and the shield on that side. Again, I only got a few sizes in each one of these. If you want a shirt of the As I Learned, you need to get them now because I'm selling those shirts, and I don't have that many left of those shirts. I only got a few selected sizes just to see how they'll work, but we fully stocked with the spears of the Mossi. I sold out. I thought Shawn sold out on his, but he said he didn't sold out. I sold out on my first order. I got a second order in. I'm selling those, and I'm selling the As I Learn, We All Learn on the website. Again, if you want to As I Learn, We All Learn, you need to get them now because I only have a few left in the sizes. I don't know what sizes I have, but again, go to Kofi Piesie TV, Kofi Piesie TV.com to get those. If you want to reach us, you want to, purchase our shirts, our books, Volume 1 and Volume 2, that's coming August the 14th, or read some of our articles or some of the videos that we have on, or look at further book listing. We have a book page on there where we have a long list of suggested books that people should have. So go to KofiPiesieTV.com website. If you want to email us for anything, writing forward, dedicated forward, you want us to have us involved in the book, you want to have us on your platform, you want to have us on your podcast, our official email address is info@KofiPiesieTV.com. Again, that is info@KofiPiesieTV.com. That's the official email address for Kofi Piesie Research Team, Kofi Piesie blog site. If you want some of my articles, you can go to Kofi Piesie Written Compositions. Shawn's, who also a member of Kofi Piesie Research Team, you can go to his blog site for his articles, the memoirs of Inutu, WordPress.com. This channel, Kofi Piesie, if you want to look at more of our videos, Kofi Piesie Research, KofiPiesieTV.com. If you want here, you had to subscribe, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live every Sunday. Mossi Warrior Clan, me and Shawn is also a member of Mossi Warrior Clan. So we are presenting the group Kofi Piesie Research Team and our collective works. So please go subscribe to the Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. We hadn't went live maybe in the last 2 months because we in writing mode. Right now, writing is more important than doing presentations. But we're going to get back to that next month. I'll be doing something. I don't know what I'll be. Probably going to be doing some on the Amazulu. So I'll be doing some on the Amazulu on the Mossi Warrior Clan channel here, maybe in the next few weeks. Also go to Niger Valley Civilzation. That's my brother Sutekh, Akande, Iyanu, Oluwa YouTube channel as well. He's also a member of Kofi Piesie Research Team. So please go subscribe. Please support. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate all of the love, and those that got the book, we ask you, please go to Amazon.com, regardless if you bought it from off the website or you ordered it off of Amazon.com. Please go leave us a review if you read the book. Don't leave a review if you hadn't read the book or even dived into the book. We know there's people in the community that will say things about the book, whether it's negative or good, and hadn't even read the book and flipped one page or even hadn't even purchased the book. So please leave us a review on Amazon.com. Also leave us a review on KofiPiesieTV.com, our website. We have a page on there for the people, that support us, whether you support us or you don't support us. If you want to leave some critique information on there, if you want to leave a good review or just some type of comment or some type of recommendation or whatever it is, You can also go to KofiPiesieTV.com, and it's a page on there. You click on that page. I forgot the name of the page. And you can leave and submit your information, and we'll get your information. Or you can hit us up again at info@KofiPiesieTV.com, our official email address. Again, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support from each and every one of us. From each and every one of us, man. Again, I want to say Black African Power. I want to leave with this. Shawn got his shirt on. He think he looking fly, but he's a whack individual. Let's see, show the shoes. I knew we were finna show the shoes. I already waiting for that. Show the shoes. Show the shoes.
That boy's clean, man. Ain't nothing on the bottom of them.
Yeah, I see. But yeah, I just want to leave with move right now. The climate is money over morality. I said this yesterday. Money over morality. Just because your state, your city has opened back up, you still have to move responsible. We're still in a pandemic. We are still in a pandemic. There has not been a vaccine yet for the coronavirus. So please move responsible. Please stop moving irresponsible. Please stop moving dangerously. Meaning you're out, you're amongst people, you shouldn't be amongst people. Oh, it's open back up, so I'm gonna go to the restaurant. And if you do, please just move responsibly. Please move responsibly. And if you don't have to come out, practice please quarantine. If you have to be out, practice social distance. Try to stay as 6 feet away or more if possible. And on that note again, appreciate the support, Black African Power, and we'll see y'all next time. We out.